Hi guys, and welcome to my craft table. Today is not really a tutorial. It is more or less what not to do. I journal. I journal all the time. Now, it's not your typical, when you think of journaling, you think of probably like writing in a diary. For me, it is writing down everything so I can remember. And I have been asked several times, hundreds of times, how do you start? What do you do? Where do you get your stuff? Well, you start with a notebook. And I have to tell you, this is all personal preference. It's up to you. This is all what you enjoy. Now, I have to write down everything, like I said. Everything from a grocery list to things I have to do during the day, dates, times, my name, just so I can remember, passwords, everything. I write down everything. And then, like most things that I do, I tend to write them on a piece of paper and then I leave the paper wherever and can never find it again. So I started years ago buying these little one-subject notebooks. You can get them when the sales, the back-to-school sales are, and at one time they were like 10 cents. You could get 10 for $1. We bought a whole case, and I write in them. But I also have a habit of, I'll use it for a while, I'll take it with me like to the kitchen or whatever, and I never see it again. But I open up a new one. That's why we bought a whole case. When it comes to journaling, it is a personal thing. First off, don't journal for somebody else. You can't do it for somebody else. Do it for yourself. If you're having a bad day, sit down and write your rant. Such and such did this, or the furnace broke down, or the roof caved in, or whatever. You write until you feel better. Do your grocery list. I'm sure 90% of you write a grocery list. I always write a grocery list. I don't always take it with me, and when I get into the store I can never find it, but we all do some form of journaling. Kids' birthdays, anniversaries, dates, we write them down, and it's easier, I find, for me to write it down, say it out loud, and I can remember it longer than 2 minutes. I'm going to tell you what not to do if you want to start journaling. Do not go out and spend $100 on all these fancy books and papers. Buy yourself a notebook. Buy yourself 4 or 5 of these little notebooks. They're cheap. They're inexpensive. Put it in front of you, wherever your favorite place is. Put it there. Grab yourself a ballpoint pen. Doesn't have to be a fancy pen. And just start jotting down everything. How you feel at the moment, how you don't feel at the moment, favorite TV show, whatever pops into mind. Just write it down. Do not go out and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on fancy books and stickers and planners and all that stuff until you know that is for you. That's just like starting a craft and you see somebody else do it and you go, oh, I want to do that. I want to learn to do that. That's like, for me, that would be like knitting or crocheting or needlepoint, anything sewing related. When I was younger, I tried them all. And unfortunately, I went out and I spent all kinds of money to do it. And within 30 days, I was done with it. I found out it just was not my craft. Some things are for me and some things are not. Same with journaling. Last year, I'm going to show you my fail. Last year I went out and I paid quite a bit of money for this great big sketchbook. And I did. I spent a whole day decorating, writing down, cutting out, drawing, and I got the front cover done, and I got this one done, and I was going right to town. I got about 5 days worth. All this done. See, January. It was a year ago. And see how pretty they were? That was January. This is February. This is the rest of the year. It just was not for me. It wasn't what I wanted. This is great for scrapbook. You get cards like, Happy Birthday, Mom. My birthday's in January. I got a happy birthday card. You know, cards that I got. It's a scrapbook. It's not a journal. And like I said, I soon got tired of it. It was a whole day per page worth of work, and I just didn't have the time or the ambition to do it. So quite a bit of money kind of sits and goes to waste. I will use these later on down the road. This will always be somewhere on my shelves. So what did I end up with? Other than these, as you can see, these are my grocery lists. Sometimes there's doodles and numbers and things like that. If somebody was to walk in and grab this and open it up, they'd go, what? I mean, this is all, your journal is personal. It's for you. It's not for the next door neighbor. It's not for your husband, your kids, whatever. It's for you. You know, just, and I feel better about spending 25 cents on a book and letting it sit for a year or two than I do on several dollars on a book and letting it sit for a year or two. I ended up though, and as you can see, this is today's. I've already started my lists and journal, but this is what I've been using right here. And I actually have been very good about it. Every day, just about, I put something new in it. But some of it'll make sense if somebody read it. Some of it's gonna, you know, is not. It is all very personal. Just like a diary, I guess you would call it. But it's for you. It's for you and you only. I like to doodle, and when I'm bored watching TV, this happens to sit right next to me, and I will keep going. Nothing fancy. And what I do spend money on are basically the pens. These aren't expensive gel pens. These you can buy, I think there's six to eight different colors to a pack, and you pay like $3 to $5 for the whole pack. This is 2 packs. And you can pick your color, you can draw. I always have my white pens, I buy them by the bulk. But that is journaling. Now you sit down, I want you to grab a book. Do not, like I said, just grab yourself a little notebook next time you're at the Dollar Tree and open it up and just write or doodle or whatever, an idea pops into your head. And if you're like me, that idea will stay there until it comes out. You have to either do it or talk yourself out of it. And if you write it down, it really never totally goes away. It could be a really good idea, maybe not for just this minute, but just write it down. So, don't think of it as a diary or a journal. Think of it as your own personal app that's going to remind you, 6 months down the road, you can flip back through and you go, I remember, I should have done this, I can do this now. Just get a notebook, or if you want, go through, look at all the books. I like using sketchbooks. Now this wasn't very expensive. I picked it up at Walmart. I think it was less than $5, and it's just plain sketchbook. This way I can put stickers in it, I can write in it, I can color in it. If I do want to glue something in it, the paper is thick enough where it's not going to glue 6 pieces of paper together. Like if I were to put glue on top of this, I'm pretty sure that 3 or 4 of these pieces of paper are going to be solid. Grab yourself a sketchbook. If you want something lined, they make small journals like this, or you can just go through, feel the paper. A lot of times it's how things make you feel. Like I said, this is all personal. This is your personal preference. I cannot tell you, go out and buy the fancy ones that's got everything, in its place, and the calendars. If you want a calendar, draw it. Take your pen, a ruler, draw it, or, like this. Just right at the top. This is Monday, January 1st. Happy New Year. It's a brand new year. Brand new journal. Brand new you. I'm just don't want you to go out and start something is within any kind of craft. This is a craft. Do not go out and spend all your hard-earned cash. Start that craft and find out that you're really not that interested in it. I do not want you wasting your money. Start small. Use what you've got. Run to the Dollar Tree. You can find everything you want there. Pens, papers, notebooks, the whole thing. They even have the fancy, they're smaller, but still, put them together. Sit down, give it 30 days. I always ask people, just give it 30 days, 1 month. If by the end of that 30 days you have found that you don't like it, then you've only spent maybe $5 compared to the $50 or $100 that if you'd run out and bought the fanciest planners or journals and stickers and pens and pencils and all that stuff. Just give it the 30 days with a plain, simple notebook. If it's something that you really enjoy, then upgrade. Do not go out and spend all that money, please, for the sake of yourself and me, okay? Okay. So that is my short, sweet, getting in your business type. If you know me, I'm always giving advice. Doesn't mean you have to take it, but just give it a try. And journaling will help. Write down your dreams, your thoughts, your goals. There is so many things to write about. All right, write down, of course, your list, yeah, grocery list, birthdays, dates, names, reminders, your favorite quotes, ideas, all right, what you did do and what you didn't do that day, recipes, your goals for the year, the things that stressed you from last year, the good times from last year, the good times you want this year. Just make it messy, make it private, make it for you. This is yours. This is your journal. Just try it. Give it a try. 30 days. That's all I'm asking. So, anyway, that's my tip, trick, advice for the day. I hope I sparked a little bit of imagination, inspiration, and I hope to see you soon. So, bye-bye now.